Marshal Morrison. Who are you and what do you want?
I got information on Charlie Slade.
They all got information on Charlie Slade.
No, I've been with him 3 years. When I pulled out, he sent his guns after me. I'm too law-abiding to go on with all...
What information?
He's got himself a ball and chain, Marshal.
Well, then married? Slade?
Yeah, down Sonora. Legal, in a church. Here it is, all wrote down. Now, you put me in a jail, Marshal. I want you to lock me up.
You ain't committed nothing but to earn the informer's reward, if this pans out.
Marshal! Marshal, you shut that door on me. I got no protection. They'll find me, sure. Hey, Marshal! Destruction of federal property! Now you're gonna put me in jail!
Good idea.
Marshal!
Who is it, Marshal? Messenger from the devil himself.
I'll have Slade handcuffed right here inside of 3 days.
No, Billy. Give me that warrant. You ain't had experience enough for this one.
Marshal, how am I gonna get experience if you never leave me get none?
Only deputy I got smart and slick enough to handle Slade. Gotta be out on another assignment.
Sam Buckhart? He's gonna be down at North Fork for another week. And Slade will just slip right through your fingers while you're sitting here twiddling your thumbs.
Well, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Billy, I wish you luck.
I hear my name mentioned.
Sam!
Mr. Buckhart.
How are you?
Oh, saddle rubbed. Left 3 prisoners at the calaboose.
Good.
So Charlie's a family man now, huh?
You, wouldn't have been eavesdropping, would you?
I'm just hitching my horse outside.
Yeah.
You know, Marshal, I wouldn't mind having a good side man along this trip.
I might fix to spare your Deputy Lorden here.
Mr. Buckhart, when you go into that house in Albuquerque, I'm gonna back you up to the last shot in my guns.
Me go in after Slade? No. I'll back you up. It's good experience for you.
No light showing.
Maybe Slade's still romantic enough to prefer moonlight. All right, Billy, you go around back.
Is he really as fast as they say?
He's worse than fast, Billy. He's intelligent. I'd rather be going in after a wounded grizzly. All right, take your station, but don't knock over any milk cans.
Want to live?
It's only me.
Never mind that, Slade. I'll blow your liver right through the front of your vest.
Deputy Lorden, will you please strike a match? Now that about my liver, Billy, that's not a nice way to talk.
I'm sorry, Mr. Buckhart. Been gone and went.
About 2 weeks ago, I'd say, if Rosa Costello was any kind of a housekeeper. Gloves. Ladies' gloves from Paris. Delivered by express line, addressed to Carlos Deos. Could be anagram for Slade.
Sir?
Letters of his name scramble to bewilder fools like us, Billy. He's not only rich, he's vain. Ever hear of Achilles, Billy?
That Pharaoh dealer down to El Paso.
Not O'Kelly, Achilles. He was an old Greek gunslick. Only place he could be shot was in the heel.
Heel wound ain't too fatal.
It was to Achilles.
A package for Carlos Dales.
Oh, Carlos Dales. I've been holding it for 2 weeks. All the way from England. Why didn't you call for it sooner?
Where do I sign?
No place. Not till you identify yourself, Mr. Dales.
I'm not Mr. Dales, senor. I have original signed orders, manufacturer's receipt, and Dales' authorization to pick up the package.
Yeah. Signatures look the same.
Dales by Frank Remy. Ever seen this Remy before? All the way from Sheffield, England. Corey and Chichester makers of fine firearms and assured by Lloyd's of London for $3,100.
Well, one thing's for sure. He didn't buy them firearms for Rosa. If Dales and Slade is one and the same person, like you say.
They are. I'll take the warrant now, Billy. You go back to Santa Fe.
Oh, Mr. Buckhart, do I have to? You ever seen Slade? Know what he looks like?
Only once, in a crowded saloon. I watched him take the guns off a Texas Ranger.
What's that? Sterling silver. Paid 300 English guineas for each.
Jefe, these guns, as soon as you start shooting, they come apart, no?
Sterling silver, laid over precision rifle 10-inch steel barrels. 50 caliber. Knock over a running steer.
Yeah, them pretty sure took you on them dark grade pearl hand grips.
Pearl. Pearl is only polished clamshell. This is lapis lazuli. They make rings and brooches from it.
I don't know. These 10-inch target barrels are going to slow down your draw some.
Tom, I ain't got no respect for this so-called fast guns. Now, I sight on them maybe back at 200 feet. And while they're snap shooting the whole territory with their knees clanking together, I put in my one aimed shot. Harper, you know how I feel about liquoring in camp.
I've been feeling poorly, Charlie.
With 10 other good men riding on it, each of us has to be countable on. Try to do your drinking while you're at home, visiting with your mom.
Yeah, Charlie.
But you warned him. You won't scream. I believe that. You're Rosa Costello, aren't you? This is Charlie Slade now. All right, Mrs. Slade. I'm going to take my hand off your mouth so we can talk this over. But don't forget, it's not scream.
Please don't hurt me. I'm going to have a baby. My face is all swollen.
Man, you need a doctor right away.
How could I get a doctor? If my headache would only let up.
Your eyes. What about your vision?
My eyes blur sometimes. Will you kill him when he comes in?
Not if I can.
Apache.
Charlie. Carlos!
You won't have to watch, Angel. Out. How'd you get in? What were you after? Harvard! Harvard! I got no Indian trouble. Who sent you? We got us a unexpected visitor. Stake him out for the night. Leave him sweat.
Straight wants you. Careful. This is good and hot.
Chiricahua Apache, just passing through. Come of it, mister. You're no regular Injun. We found your horse and outfit. This deputy badge is your execution warrant. Sure as if it was signed by Governor Lew Wallace. Catch. See, boys? A man can lie even with his jaw shut. That's all, boys. So you're the Buckhart, was back east of that big study school.
Harvard College.
Now, why would the government want to spend all that money on you?
They didn't. An Army officer left the money for my tuition.
How'd you get him to do that?
I once saved his life.
Were the lessons hard?
I took 5 years on the 4-year course.
I'd run it in about 3 then.
Uh-huh. Magna cum laude.
Marshal, I don't like conversations I don't savvy. Buckhart, put in with me, and I guarantee you 4 times what the government gives you. You'd be over Redmond and Ramey, right next to me.
Oh, Charlie, you know there's more to life than just rank or money.
Like what? Dying?
That, too. What I had in mind was loving something.
Now, I might just go along with you there, Marshal, if we had more time.
How was she?
Doing fine. If she wasn't, you'd been dead long before this.
She still needs a doctor.
What for?
If you don't get her a doctor soon, your wife will die.
You're an Apache medicine man?
Medical science. She has advanced toxemia. Pregnancy poisoning.
How would you know?
I know something of medicine. I studied it for a year. And if you don't get her a doctor soon...
That kid's inheriting a lot of sound Spanish blood from my mother's side. My Rosa ain't the first female ever born a kid in a tent.
This is no normal pregnancy. Convulsions, hemorrhage, heart failure, and death.
Hear that, boys? The Apache medicine man's now got a lot of big Hobart scare words in his magic charm poke.
Don't fool with it, Slade. Get our doctor.
You move and you're dead, Buckhart. When this is over, I'll kill him for you right here by the fire, instead of passing out cigars.
Those coyotes, they come many and they come close.
He's a funny kind of Injun. At first he liked to brain me. And now...
Mrs. Slade, I hope I'm doing the right thing. You could only have trust in me.
Oh, bless you, Marshal. I do.
I'll bring blanket rolls of sand from under the fire. See if we can get you warm.
Well,
From one convulsion into another.
there's something I can do.
Yes, you can pray.
Me pray. You'll never understand a man like me.
Slade, I regard you a spoiled boy. I hope you live to become a man. Does that ease the pain any?
It's very comforting, but
But what?
why bother with it, Marshal? I don't think I meant to give Charlie Slade a baby.
Mrs. Slade, there's no struggle on earth more violent than a baby's trying to be born. You only hurt yourself and the baby when you try to defeat it.
But it's the future I'm thinking about, Marshal. I love Charlie Slade. He's more than my whole life to me. But I don't want the baby growing up like him.
They say the hand that rocks a cradle rules the world. If you could just believe that, you might not have to worry about the future.
Yes. You have fine, consoling words for Mother, Marshal. Thank you.
The senora seems much quieter since they packed the sand around her.
Could be she's running down.
Them coyotes ain't run down none. They've been edgy since sundown.
Coyotes don't know nothing.
Baby and I are going to die. Aren't we?
It's up to you and God.
Jefe, you should pray for them. And while you pray, you should pray for yourself, too.
Charlie, you don't look an inch shorter without these.
Sam, I ain't deserving of them.
Go in.
Yeah, but what you've been telling me don't change nothing in regard to the reasons you brung this man in, Sam. Slade's an unconvicted felon, and I aim to see him get convicted. Now, there's a meeting going on right this minute up to the governor's mansion, and you're one of the outlaws whose name's been mentioned loud and emphatic. All these extenuating circumstances of a listener to... Who's this?
Mrs. Slade, Marshal. And son.
Well, now, as I was saying, all these extenuating circumstances, that's something that has to be considered. I don't want to be raising your hopes unduly, ma'am, but this governor of our territory, he's been speaking in a way that ain't never been heard west of the Mississippi, and they say that what he says makes sense. Something about an amnesty. Well, now, as a marshal, I don't know as I agree, but he's a very popular man, and if what he wants comes to pass, well, then your husband's punishment might be tempered with a little mercy. When a military man takes to writing novels like this here Governor Lew Wallace, well, then...
You mean truth can sometimes be stranger than storybooks?